What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are gonna meal prep. So I'm gonna take you through what I do for the week. Now, I don't do the same meal every week, but how I meal prep is I will meal prep dinners. So today we're gonna make a chicken potato kind of casserole thing, and then that'll be the dinner for the week. And then for lunch, I'll usually make it the night before. And I've just honestly been doing like a sandwich for lunch. Nothing crazy, nothing fancy, just something simple. Got some meat for some protein. And then typically I'll have a snack, like a Greek yogurt or something on the side. So today, let's get into, I just love having dogs. She's literally been sleeping all morning. And of course, when I decide to film, she decides to play. Where were we? We are making a chicken potato casserole. So it's super simple. It's literally just chicken, potatoes, some seasoning, put it in the oven, and voila. So recipe wise, since it's for 2 of us for the week for dinner, I'm gonna do 2 of these chicken packets, and that's like 4 to 5 chicken breasts. The worst part about this is honestly cutting up the chicken. So let's go. Okay, so I just chopped up chicken into small little cubes because I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I can only eat chicken if it's shredded or like pre-cubed before it's cooked. Just like those nice slabs of chicken, unless it's on the grill, they just don't do it for me anymore. So cube chicken, way to go. So next I'm gonna chop up the potatoes. So I'm just gonna set this aside and then get me some potatoes. All right, so for my potatoes, I just kind of guess on the potatoes. I honestly just try to make sure there's a good ratio of chicken to potatoes, with like just a little bit more chicken than potatoes. So however many potatoes that gets me, that's kind of just what I use. How I cut my potatoes, I use my veggie chopper. I'll cut them a little bit, otherwise they won't fit. But honestly guys, if you don't have a veggie chopper, it is a game changer. It goes so fast. You literally just put whatever you want in here and then chopped. I literally do all my veggies like this. It is such a time saver. I will never go back. Chop, chop. Honestly, I just use these pans. It's a little bit easier to clean up. Don't come at me. I know it's probably not great for the environment or whatever somebody is gonna try to tell me in the comments, but it's all about time saving. Okay, so then I'm just gonna put my potatoes in the pan. I'm gonna put my chicken in the pan. Oh, I hate touching raw chicken. Mix it up, and I'm gonna add just a little bit more potatoes. So what I'm doing as far as like getting my eating on track, I mentioned it a little bit in my first video, but I am tracking my food, and I do count macros. That's how I track my food. That's how I've done it in the past, and that's how it's worked for me. The only difference is that this time around, I'm gonna track my food for, I don't know how long. Have not decided that yet. And then I'm doing a little bit more of a loose track, so I'm gonna track during the week, track a little bit on Saturday and Sunday. If I track anything, it'll just be my protein mainly to make sure I'm getting enough protein. And then what I plan to do when I kind of get to a place where I'm seeing results, not necessarily my end goal, because as we know, this is not a start and finish journey. This is a lifestyle. I'm sure you've all heard that 1,000 times, and so have I. But what I'm gonna do is slowly come off of tracking, and I think that's kind of where I went wrong in the past. Is I was tracking for almost a year and a half, and I had no issue with it. It worked well for me, but then the second I stopped, I think I just kind of let myself go, because I was like, oh, I don't have any accountability, so it doesn't matter. But what I want to do is get to a point where I just kind of keep track of protein. And I want to do that because I know that if I don't keep track of protein, I do not eat enough protein, because I will just easily gravitate towards carbs or pasta, potatoes, stuff like that, because who doesn't love a good carb? Which carbs are not bad, that's not what I'm saying, but you do need protein. And so that's my plan. So I'm going to track my food for probably majority of this year, and then kind of slowly wean myself off of it so that I can maintain this time. Now, to track my food, in the past, I have used MyFitnessPal, which I really like. However, I know you can track macros on MyFitnessPal without paying for it. It just takes a little bit more time. And if I have to spend time, I'm not going to stick to it. So typically I'll pay for MyFitnessPal, but I think it's like $80 a year, which is not bad, but also it's just $80 a year to track food, which is insane to me. I mean, I know you get access to recipes and other stuff, but I don't really use those features. So I paid $80 for a different app. However, with this app, you get access to a lot of other stuff. So I figured, I just kind of justified it. Like, if I'm gonna pay $80, I'm gonna pay $80 for something that also gives me other benefits. So I'm trying out the Grounds app by Heidi Summers, or Buff Bunny, you guys might know her. She just released an app called Grounds, and it's a all-in-one like women's health fitness app. So they have tracking, food, they have like period logging, water logging, they have workouts on there, and then you can like weigh in and stuff and track your progress that way, and journaling and stuff like that. So it's kind of an all-in-one app. So I'm trying that. I just got it, so I can't give you guys like a in-depth review if I like it or not. I'll probably do that in a later video once I kind of play around with it more and see if I actually like it. So far, I haven't done a workout on it yet, but so far I've been using the food tracking features, and I would say that it's decent. MyFitnessPal is like OG database. They have everything. I do notice that this app has probably about 90% of food items when you're scanning them. They have the quick ads, so it's not terrible. You can just quick add it. However, if I'm changing like serving size, having it in the database is kind of nice. But other than that, it is pretty decent as far as tracking food and stuff like that. Now you can, once you sign up for the app, you can put in like your height, weight, and they will spit out macros. I calculate my own macros because what they gave me was a little too low in my opinion. I could be wrong on that. I might actually need to go lower on what I'm doing right now. But however, I want to lose weight on, I still want to lose weight on like the highest amount of calories that I can, if that makes sense, because I'm not out here trying to be hungry. The macros I'm using, I went off of what I did a while ago when I was working with a coach. So I'm gonna try that out at the start and just kind of see how that works for me. I'll be able to tell within probably like 2 weeks if it's a good number or I need to adjust some things. Potatoes. All right, so I have everything in my pan. Now we're gonna make kind of the sauce that goes over it. All right, so the sauce that I put over this is super simple. It's literally hot sauce, and I always use mild because I'm weak and I don't like spicy. And then paprika, garlic powder, and olive oil. And then some salt and pepper, but sometimes I just get lazy and I don't use salt or pepper in my recipes. Alright, so all it is, I mix all this together first and then I'll put it on top of the dish. It's 1/3 cup of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of garlic powder. Now, I love garlic, so I will always add a little extra. One tablespoon of paprika. 2 tablespoons of hot sauce. Instead of regular salt, I'm going to use just a little bit of, don't mind that, garlic salt. Just a little sprinkle. Then you just go in and mix that all together. And it kind of gives like a grainy consistency, but it all evens out when you bake it. All right, so this is the sauce here. Like I said, it looks a little grainy, but I promise it tastes amazing once you put it on the chicken and potatoes. So I have my chicken and potatoes. I'm gonna put the sauce on here. And then I'm gonna give that a good mix. That is the final. All right, I'm not gonna bake it now because it's like 2:30, so it's not really dinner time. So I'm gonna put that in the fridge and then I'll bake it later and we'll come back when I'm gonna bake it then. But that's pretty much it. You mix it all together, chop it all up, and then put it in the oven. Now it does have to cook for a little over an hour and then it's done. I'll usually put some ranch on it to finish it off, but we'll come back when I'm gonna do that. But let's prep my lunch for tomorrow. Like I said, I've just been doing sandwiches for lunch with a snack on the side. Now I've been into bagel sandwiches lately, so I use the Dave's Killer bread. And this has a little bit more protein than like a regular bagel. So what I do is I'll use that and then a serving of cream cheese. I always use the 1/3 less fat. And then about 100 grams of deli turkey. Now I always get the boar's head deli turkey. I'm not sure how outdated I am, but I worked for a cafe when I was 18 and we always used boar's head stuff. And we had to take a whole boar's head like class so we could educate people on boar's head. But apparently they don't use fillers in their meat. However, I don't know how much I believe that, but boar's head it is. So typically I will weigh out my stuff, to be exact, but I am no first timer at tracking macros, and some stuff, especially stuff that I eat a lot, I can eyeball and I know that I am pretty dead on with the measurements. Pack on the protein. Out here getting gains. Boom. Not anything super exciting, but honestly, because my work life is so busy, sometimes simple meals are just better for me. I just don't like having to think of what I'm gonna eat. So that is a big portion of my lunch. And then in the morning, I will usually pack a little side snack. Something that I'll usually do on the side. Our fridge is not the fullest right now. Usually we have a little bit more. But I will buy these from Costco. They're little salami and cheese snacks, or I also buy these from Costco, which is like same thing, crackers, cheese, or I'll do some fruit. We don't really have fruit right now, so I probably won't do that. And then I've been on my Brazil nut kick, so I'll usually do like 3 of those also with my lunch. And then if I want more protein, I will pack a little tuna creation. Now, usually I'll pack that, and sometimes if I go straight to the gym from work, I'll eat that before I go to the gym. So that's pretty much my lunch. I will be back later once we start cooking my dinners. See you then. All right, to bake it, I will set the oven to 400 degrees and then let it cook for an hour. 10 minutes before it's done, I'll put this shredded cheese on, top it off, put it back in the oven just for about 5 to 10 minutes until it's melted. And then that's the final product. And then usually I'll top it with some ranch in order to get a little extra creamy flavor. And that's all. Thanks, guys.